After the success of the first video, I thought to myself, hey, why not make a sequel? It certainly has been long enough since the first one. Thus, here we are again, top 10 anime where the main character is a transfer student with hidden powers/abilities, DOS. But before we start, are you an otaku? If yes, then join me and other otakus on Discord, after subscribing and turning on notifications, of course. Now with that out of the way, buckle up and let's get into this list. Codebreaker. We first begin with Codebreaker. Aside from cute boys, this show has a nice concept. Main character is seemingly cold-blooded killer who follows the principle of an eye for an eye, to use evil against evil. Interested? The show events follow a chick who takes public transportations, Sakura-koji Sakura, and she was on the bus when she saw out of the small window people being burned alive with a blue fire and a boy her age who's unharmed and standing over the people. She comes back to the site the next day and there are no corpses or evidence. Sakura then goes to class to find there's a new transfer student who looks exactly like the boy she saw before. Our charming boy, 𝐴ᴇᴄᴏ, happens to be a codebreaker, one who does not exist. Now you know why I take the bus. Not for decreasing traffic, but for crazy stories. In ninth place, a show that I enjoyed very much, Freezing. It's set decades in the future where humanity is under siege by an alien race known as the Novas. Young women, known as Pandoras, and young men, known as Limiters, are implanted with stigmata to give them superhuman powers and are trained in military academies where they must learn to work together. Kazuya Aoi is a transfer student, and as he sets out for his first day at the military academy, he sees a battle royale fought between Pandoras. He mistakes one of the participants, Satelazar El-Bridget, aka Untouchable Queen, as his deceased sister and embraces her. No need to comment, weird, I know. Kazuya costs her the match, however she finds that his touch doesn't drive her away and decides to take him in as her limiter. From action, comedy, to mature scenes, wink wink, this is a decent show to kill time. Also, if I remember correctly, either in the start of the second season or by the end of the second season, you will get your heart broke. So be aware this show is not for the weak-hearted. Like Freezing, 100 is also set in a military academy. When an extraterrestrial organism known as Savage attacks mankind, the only technology capable of combating the enemy is a weapon known as 100. A survivor of a Savage attack, Hayato Kisaragi is a teenager boasting the highest compatibility level with the aforementioned technology, and as a result, he is invited to master his skills at Little Garden, a prestigious military academy aboard a battleship. Over the course of intense training for the battle ahead, he immediately attracts the interest of multiple female peers, hence it's a harem, making it a must-watch if you're looking for a good time waster. This 12-episode show will keep you entertained for a solid 4 hours. Kakumeki Valvrave. In the 71st year of the True Era, humans have successfully expanded into space and have started living in independent galactic colonies. Now, that would be us if God keeps Uncle Musk around till he colonizes Mars. P.S. Volunteers will be delivered catgirl waifus when they arrive there. Unless they were the kind of people who don't keep the door open for the person right behind them. Those people do not get catgirl waifus. But until that happens, why not watch and travel 4 hours and 48 minutes into the future by watching Kakumeki Valvrave. Valvrave is a neutral colony in outer space where 17-year-old Haruto Tokishima lives his life peacefully, but like all good things, it doesn't last. A sudden Dick fleet breaches the neutral colony. Their objective is to seize the Valvrave's powerful but rumored mechanized weapons hidden deep within Haruto's school. Haruto stumbles upon one of the targeted Valvraves, he enters the mecha and seals a contract for its power in exchange for his humanity. And to finish this entree with a fun fact, 𝐒ᴇᴅᴇᴏ was the first anime to receive a simulcast in Germany. In 6th place, Persona 5 The Animation. Rin Amamiya is a new transfer student in Shujin Academy. While on the way to attend his first day, Rin notices a strange app has appeared on his phone. Hence, another reason to stay away from the dark web. You don't need those kink apps to start in public. You're already weird as it is. This would be a KO to your social image. But hopefully it would be like our boy's case, where the app transfers him to another world known as the Metaverse, which contains people's shadows, distorted depictions of their true selves. In the Metaverse, he awakens his persona, a power from deep within that gives him the strength to fight the shadows. Rin Amamiya was sent to Tokyo to live with his family friend Sojiro Sakura, after wrongly being put on probation for defending a woman from sexual assault. And here you thought Shield Hero was the first main character to be accused of sexual assault.
ねえねえ、何やってんの？え？
なんだよこいつ。
あ、わかった。これいじめってやつだ。
Zenkyo No Terror. After a terrorist attack on a nuclear facility in Japan, the government is shattered by their inability to act, and the police are left frantically searching for ways to track down the perpetrators. Holy hell, hasn't this country suffered enough from nuclear attacks in real life? Idol anime to the meddling SJW, give them a break. Hashtag leave Japan alone. Anyway, back to the professionally narrated video. 6 months later, a strange video makes its way onto the internet. In it, 2 teenage boys who identify themselves as Sphinx directly challenge the police, threatening to cause destruction and mayhem across Tokyo. Unable to stop the mass panic quickly spreading, the police struggle to act effectively against these terrorists, with Detective Kinjiro Shibazaki, who is played by one of my favorite English dub voice actors, Robert McCallum, caught in the middle of it all. Worth mentioning, director Shinichiro Watanabe stated that the team went to Iceland to record the music. Talk about dedication and commitment to the art form.
ミコノさんを守りたいから。だから、ごめん。
Aquarian. We're almost done. Lads, bear with us just a little more. Nearing the top 3, we have another mecha anime. This one is set 12,000 years after the events in Genesis Aquarian. Humans live on the star Vega under constant threat of transdimensional beings called abductors. An organization known as Neo Diava formed to combat the abductors. They pilot advanced mech suits called Aquaria. 2 teenagers, Mikono and Amata, are dragged into the conflict unknowingly. Amata performs a taboo when he summons an Aquaria and initializes what it calls the forbidden union between male and female Aquaria. Keep in mind Aquarias are strictly separated by gender. Boys and girls are not allowed to contact. They are even restrained from fighting on the same battlefield. Finally, a good Christian anime. And for who thought of this, shame on you. I'm talking about this show. Aquarian Evolve, which if you decide to pick it up, you need to know that the first 2 episodes were aired together as a 1-hour special.
あなたのことが気になっています。
え？
トール、あなたのことがとても気になります。
それってどういう？
Another personal favorite, Absolute Duo. In a world where individuals can materialize weapons from their souls, known as blazers, Toru Kokonoe, the main character, hopes to attend Koryo Academy in order to harness his abilities and gain power after his sister and friends were slain by a mysterious man. In this academy, each student is required to partner with another, in hopes that one day, the pair can attain the power of Absolute Duo. However, at the opening ceremony, Toru is forced to duel against the person sitting next to him, with the loser being expelled. As Toru prepares to give this match his all, it is not a weapon that manifests from his soul, but a shield. An irregularity which catches the attention of a foreign student named Julie Sigtuna. I highly recommend this show, as it's a good watch. It has action, comedy, little romance, and even mysteries too. Also, it happens to be a harem too, with a very freaking kawaii silver hair lolly. So yeah, watch the damn show.
Trigger, boom. Yo, 無事か？
At second place, the longest show on the list with 73 episodes, we have World Trigger. The plot goes like this. A gate to another world suddenly opens on Earth. Strange creatures known as neighbors invade the city. An organization called Border Defense Agency gets established to combat the neighbor menace through special weapons called triggers. Despite the delicate situation, members in training such as Asuma and Mikuma are not permitted to use triggers outside of headquarters. But when the mysterious new student in his class is dragged to a forbidden area by bullies, they are attacked by neighbors, and Asuma has no choice but to do what he believes is right. However, the transfer student Yumakuga makes short work of the aliens, revealing that he is a humanoid neighbor in disguise. Now, if you choose to join the fandom of this show, you need to know that World Trigger was also adapted into a Japan-only PlayStation Vita action game titled World Trigger Borderless Mission. It also has an iOS and Android game titled World Trigger Smash Borders. And finally, from what I saw on an MAL page while searching, a second season is promised to air, making binge watching the only way. The daily life of the Immortal King. And finally, we like to finish this list with something different. The daily life of the Immortal King is a Chinese anime, but a good Chinese anime. As a cultivation genius who has achieved a new realm every 2 years since he was a year old, Wang Ling is a near invincible existence with prowess far beyond his own control. But now that he's 16, he faces his greatest battle yet, senior high school. With one challenge after another popping up, his plans for a low-key high school life seems further and further away. To put it simply, it's the Chinese version of Psyche K. If you're a fan of the disastrous life of Psyche K and looking for something similar, well, here you go. Food is served. With this, the video comes to an end. Shout out to the awesome people who stuck till this point. Give yourself a hug on the behalf of me. Now stop hugging yourself so you can hit that like button, which is beside the subscribe button and notification buttons, which in turn should be already clicked from the start of this video. And until next video, you know where you can find me.